Hello and welcome to the business programme. I'm Liz Hay and today I'm joined by my special guest Jonathan Kattenberg, owner of Life Wealth Coaching and author of How to Build On Tectonic Plates. Jonathan is a returning guest on the business programme and brings a unique blend of financial advice, clinical hypnotherapy, mindset research and practice, and personal life experiences to inspire our viewers. Indeed, some of you may remember Jonathan's fearless approach to solo trekking and racing in the Arctic in -40-degree conditions. Jonathan joins us today to talk predominantly about his new book and the journey he's taken to self-publish his work. Hi Jonathan, and
Liz,
welcome
hi.
to the programme.
Thank you.
So you're back now from your most recent Arctic adventure. How was it for you this year and what are some of your highlights?
It was an interesting event this year. I went with great expectations and stormed away through the race at the beginning stages, but then picked up a tummy virus. So on stage 2, whilst I was resting, I was led to believe that I was a lot worse than what I was. And the medical intervention withdrew me from the race whilst I was resting.
Oh no.
It was one of those things where they thought they were doing the right thing. I disagreed with it, but by the time we dealt with it, it was too late for me to get back in the race. So I then subsequently helped volunteer with the race, helped the other competitors, had a great time, and then went mountaineering, trekking, snowshoeing and looking for Arctic wildlife.
So you stayed out there and made the best of it by the sounds of it.
I certainly did, yeah, I had a great time. Saw 4 lynx in one day.
Right, fabulous.
So it was a good day.
And what sort of temperatures?
The -40s were there.
-40s, wow. So you're back now, and you've recently, as we're going to talk about today, published your book.
I have, yes.
How to Build On Tectonic Plates.
Yes.
How did you find the overall experience of writing a book? Did you learn anything new?
Well, that in itself has been a journey. I've always struggled with English as a child.
Okay.
And I didn't find out until last year that I had a symptom or a syndrome called Irlen Syndrome, which means that what might take you 5-10 minutes to read and digest will take me a lot longer, and I will lose track of the lines I'm on, and then the wavy patterns of the spaces will come out and the capital letters and so on. So for me to deal with English and writing, it's a lot harder. So that was a challenge in itself, but it's a little daunting at first because you're subjecting yourself to criticism.
Sure.
It's an open book, and once you release whatever it is you release when writing a book, it's out there for everybody to view. But I wanted to be true to myself, true to my beliefs, and the research was quite fascinating what I uncovered as well. I mean, I share some of the best practices, what I apply with clients, but there's certain things in the medical world that's come out from the research that I've asked and raised within the book for a lot more clinical research to be applied in certain areas. So it's been a fascinating journey.
It's been good.
Yeah.
And it's taken you between 12 and 15 months to actually, from start to finish, to get the book published and so on. And what's the overall purpose of the book, Jonathan? And can you tell us more about the community that you're wanting to establish?
So the purpose of the book is, the title in itself is it supports the purpose. And when I called it How to Build on Tectonic Plates, what it's referring to is not the tectonic plates on the planet that we live on, but it's more of the metaphorical aspects of what tectonic plates do if you take a mindset of an individual. So the purpose of the book is to highlight to an individual how they've been programmed throughout life from the moment they were born. Okay. All their experiences that they absorb, whether it's unknowingly or willingly, how does that impact on them and the decisions they make in life, business, personal goals, ambitions, for retirement and so on, and how does that impact on them with the financial decisions they make as well. So the purpose of the book is to bring all this together, allow an individual to understand who is that person they see in a mirror, and then if they want to make change and they want to achieve whatever life it is they desire, how do they do it and how do they utilise certain techniques out there that are being applied in modern day world as we know it.
So what inspired you to write the book, Jonathan?
So there's 2 elements of that. One is that my own challenged to work with English and grammar. And that comes into the second part, is with what I've been observing for the last 20 years and what I've been applying with helping clients, whether it's on the financial planning side, whether it's on the mindset side, I'm seeing a lot of things being applied to clients outside of the people that I work with, and I'm wanting to bring more awareness that there are certain techniques out there that are good for certain things but not necessarily appropriate for other things, shall we say. So I wanted to bring a more of an educational platform for people to start from.
And how accessible is the book, Jonathan, and the techniques that you include in here? I mean, can anybody order a copy and work through it?
Absolutely, yeah. So it's available if they go onto the website www.lifewealthcoaching.com. On the homepage there's a link straight to it, or if you just want to go on Amazon, it's on Amazon and it's on a print on demand basis, so it can be on their doorstep within a couple of days. As far as working with the content, I've broken it down in such a way where it enables an individual to take their jigsaw pieces of their life, deal with each section without being overwhelmed, and do it one step at a time. And I spend a lot of time structuring it that way, researching with individuals what does work and what doesn't work, and try to make it fit for everybody.
So it is more of a workbook then, would you say?
It's an educational book.
Yeah, educational book.
Shares a bit of a story about me and my last 12 months of writing the book, but it has the workbook element to it as well.
And the reader's advised to work through each chapter in turn, or is it something that you can dip into and dip out of?
You can dip into it should you so wish, but I would encourage, with how I've structured it, do it through the process that's been designed, one chapter at a time.
Now, you've often been referred to professionally, Jonathan, as a mindset troubleshooter.
Oh yes.
And now I'm not going to let you go away today without explaining what a mindset troubleshooter is and what one does. Okay,
so a mindset troubleshooter is someone who will sit down with somebody, find out what's going on with them, with what's influencing their decisions, looking at where they want to be, and then finding out what's the best techniques to use with that person and what are the root causes that are causing them to make the decisions they make and the actions they make, or what's causing the behavioural patterns. And just having that third party individual who has no emotional connection but can act professionally, I can then troubleshoot and pinpoint what it is that's impacting on that individual's life. And that's what troubleshooting is. It's fault finding for the right reasons.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, we come across troubleshooting in IT, for example.
Yes.
Someone that will find a fault and look for a solution and so on. So it's similar, but it's looking at the person and their actual mindset.
In totality. And then sometimes it's a case of there may be a requirement for a client to need some sort of support in a technique to do with mind, or whether it's the financials that I'm not completely proficient at, shall we say. And if that's the case, I'm going to be the first person that says and suggests to the client, look, I think we need to refer you elsewhere.
Okay, great. And can we expect any other publications beyond this? Have you got future plans?
Yes. So those that get the book will see towards the end there is a lot of requests for further clinical research, because one of the findings within the book is that there's a lot of research being published, but it's not looking at things in a totality or a holistic approach. And it's left the research open for debate, shall we say. But what I've been able to do is highlight some key areas of how the mind influences the body. From a healing point of view as well, and how some of the ancient techniques really do work, and how modern science is only just starting to scratch the surface of these techniques. So I'm in the midst of creating a documentary, which will involve an eclectic mix of therapeutic techniques, ancient and new, shall we say, and it will document a journey of many people and also involve expeditions and so on. So there will be another book, but also a film documentary as well on the back of it.
Right. And have you got timescales for that?
So the timescales are to be over the next 4 years.
Right.
That's how long it will take. When we've sat down and scheduled the whole programme, it takes about 4 years to do this. So at some point this year, I'm aiming to get it off the ground. But I'm still in the process of bringing together clinical specialists. It's all a bit go, shall we say?
Yeah. So more big projects on the horizon.
Yeah, this one's it's a multifaceted project with many aspects to it.
Thank you. Well,
You're
thanks,
welcome.
Jonathan. It's been
You're
a pleasure talking to you, and all the best with the book and all the future endeavours. And as you say, people can get a copy from your website, www.lifewealthcoaching.com.
Yes.
Or they can go to Amazon and order their paperback copy online.
They can indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Now that's all we have time for today, but do join me again next time on the Business Programme.